Hey guys, what's going on? I'm about to do a fragrance list that is going to be a very special list. It's going to be a very long video, I guess, because this fragrance, I wanted to put up this list because I've been collecting for the last 4 or 5 years, and I actually was adding a lot of fragrances, and I do different kind of lists. So lists are intended to do sort of like brings back memory, also re-review or just overview sort of fragrances in particular lists they have like something in common. Today we're going to be doing a list of 80s and 90s fragrances, some of the best ones, and I'm pretty sure I missed out on a couple. So if I did miss on some good ones, please guys do a favor to others and put down the comment below in the comment section and let others know what are some great fragrances of 80s and 90s. So some of the fragrances are kind of like 80s, most of them are from 90s. I do not remember exact year release of these fragrances. You can check my review on each individually. I have covered them all. I have 5 honorable mention, I think no, 6 honorable mention, as well as 20 fragrances. So I'm just gonna speak very briefly, but I just wanted to show you what was good back in the time, 80s and 90s, mostly on 90s. What was the fragrance trend? Some of the fragrances you'll see here will be like, wow, it's really been that long. So perhaps it's intended for those people of 80s and 90s. You're gonna find something that piques your interest, right? Others also, please check out some of these fragrances. They are still available and really great. So the honorable mentions, let's go one by one. And I put all these fragrances based on my preference. Some of the fragrances are good, some of the fragrances are great. Top 5 definitely are some of my signature scents. So I start with honorable mention number 1, Cartier Declaration. So when you see honorable mention, there are different reasons. Declaration and some of the fragrances, they're in the list because of 2 reasons. Either they were very challenging for me to understand and accept, and I cannot recommend it to people like blind buy or easygoing, But this is one of the most challenging fragrances ever. I had to do a tug war with this perfume to fall in love with it. It's a masterpiece, but some people I think they find the spicy, woody kind of like a combination bit too much. So Cartier Declaration, definitely masterpiece of fragrance, last all day, but very challenging. That's my honorable mention number 1. Where do I keep this over there? Second one I'm going to show you is definitely a crowd favorite from the time. It's classic. The bottle is just lovely. So they changed the formulation. It doesn't last all day, but it's a very masculine fragrance. Feel like sandalwood, leather, and kind of like a whiskey sort of a feel. Ralph Lauren Safari. This fragrance, if you look at the cap, you understand how old. Back in the time when the Pajero Jeeps were out, the first few batches or the old Jeeps, they have this sort of like a wooden finish all over the car, and this juice color is like a very regal and very masculine, something perhaps your dad rocked. So Polo Safari, Ralph Lauren Safari is my second honorable mention. This one, it's a bit difficult to pull off. Okay, next is a fragrance, perhaps is gonna be one of the fragrance people will be shocked because this is a fan favorite. Everybody loves it except me. This perfume I could never really become a fan of. I used multiple bottles of it. This is Issey 1. Okay, this is the more modern formulation. This is more tolerable. Back in the time, I found it to be a bit too much in the high heat. This is perfectly fine in the say not fall, springtime would be great. Issey, one of the most top sellers in the world, did not make my list. Next one, I'm going to show you another fragrance. I think Mark absolutely despises it, and I could never really get like the best result on my skin. It's really long lasting, really great. This is also selling like hotcakes still. It has a lot of flankers, but this is still the OG. This is Azzaro Chrome, the original Chrome. You guys see this bottle, you recognize this most common bottle everywhere. This has that metallic smell with that marine notes, a lot of florals in it, and the perfume, it's kind of like a very sharp, citrusy, soapy scent. So people who like that kind of fragrance, if you don't want to break your budget, Chrome is still from that era. Really great fragrance, but did not make the list today because it on my skin it goes sour. Next, another heartbreaker, Dissey by MIyake. You guys are watching this, you'll be like, whoa, these are all out of the way. What survived? You'll see. Dissey, the original MIyake Dissey. This fragrance has very sharp yuzu note, and this fragrance is a freshie for cold weather. So I really find the best time to use this is winter time. When it's like if you have snowing going on, if you want to wear something nice and fresh in the morning, I suggest you go with Dissey. Not my favorite, absolute favorite, but a lot of people love this. Okay, and the last but not least, I want to show you fragrance. It almost made the list. Only reason I took it out is that those 20 fragrances I could not take out any of them. Those are so special to me. But this fragrance did me like did a great service. Okay, it's different, it's unique, it's a different take on aquatic fresh. And I do not remember, is it Jacques Cavalier? I don't remember who made this perfume, but it's different. It's different than everything else in the market. This is Kenzo Homme or Kenzo Puro. I have gone through the bottle, almost like this much juice left. It's like katana sword sort of bottle, very unique. Kenzo is a very underrated sleep. Like people sleep on this house. Do not, please check out this house. Very nice house. This perfume, it's very long lasting. Okay, for a fresh perfume, it lasts 6, 7, 8 hours. Okay, Kenzo Puro, my last honorable mention. Yeah, 6 honorable mention. See, I didn't want to miss out a lot of fragrances, so I did include them all. So I wrote down the names just in case I forget, because I always do. I wrote down the names. So I will say go from 20 to all the way to 1. Number 20, I'll start with a classic. Opium, the pink juice, manly juice. Back in the time in the shelves, this used to be in the women's aisle. I think I learned from Mark, his review. But this perfume, what a beauty. This fragrance, it's similar to Mont Blanc Individual and then original Santal by Creed. Those all took inspiration from this perfume, I believe. And this is very, very sweet, syrupy, floral, like cinnamon, kind of like that syrupy, sugary sweetness. Definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but I love this a lot during the winters. It does last a long time. Opium doesn't break your bank, still available. If you find the vintage, that would be even more beast mode. So number 20, I'll start with Opium. Number 19, here another heartbreak. I'm sorry, but this is my list. I just go by the smell. This has one of the most reputable sales record on this perfume. This one still sells like hotcake, and many people are fan of it. David of Coolwater. This is a classic. No need to talk about it. You guys know this already. It Green I Street, smelling like sort of fragrance, but I enjoy this more than Green I Street. Really lovely blue green fragrance. Number 19. Number 18, 212 Men or 212 NYC Men by Carolina Herrera. Good times of our school days or perhaps in our college days. This is really long lasting. It is a step up from the body spray game, and this one gives you that sort of green, masculine, active, fresh outdoor activities all day. Still very nice, peppery, grassy fragrance with a little bit of citrus. 212 NYC, number 18. Number 17, Clinique Sappy for Men. You see each fragrance, you understand why. This is the one of the best and nicest, most pleasant lemon sort of mixed with orange smell. This one is really like a pure joy to wear in the hot summer's day. Sun is out. This is one of the most casual fragrance. You wear it on your shirt, it does last a long time. On the skin, doesn't last. But the smell, I haven't found that many good fragrances from this era which smells this good. This is also, even the atomizer is orange. I always fascinated, like I was always fascinated by this fragrance. This is Clinique's Happy for Men. Okay, number 16, I think, yeah, we're going with classic Calvin Klein Obsession. I haven't shown this for some time, but I do not reach for it nowadays that much because I have a lot of other fragrances. But Obsession, to me, it smells like my dad used this. So I went to UK once, 2012. My brother-in-law, he has a aftershave of this. Aftershave even smells better than this, but the fragrance is just something about it. So masculine. You just have to smell it. It's not super expensive. Still can be found at 125 ml. This is one of the best fragrance ever created. But the modern ones are not as strong. It's like good for 4 hours or so. Okay, CK Obsession for Men. So number 15, we're gonna go with a classic. Of course, these are all classic perfume. I have to stop saying that. This is Paco Rabanne XS. I remember when this fragrance came out, my best friend we were both in university, and we went shopping one day. I think it was, no, it was not, it didn't come out that time. It was very popular in the 2000s, because it was still available widely. This bottle especially now is discontinued. They have a new XS version, but this is way better. So this is similar to Creed's Himalaya, but I remember we went to Sogo in Malaysia Mall, and he was checking out Black XS, but side by side he bought this. What a smell it was. It was like so bold, green, fresh. When you smell it, it's just different. It's just pops. It's just the smell of natural outdoor green and very cooling kind of fragrance. Paco Rabanne XS. This is a classic. So number 14, I think we're going with another classic. Didn't make the top 10. I'm really sorry, but I'm just going with the smell that I really enjoyed. This fragrance I did not own back then. I just bought this in 2017, but I like it a lot. Acqua di Gio, Giorgio Armani. If this one doesn't make the list, to be a shame. I really like this masculine. It has the fresh smell of the sea, Acqua. It has a little bit of sweetness and aquatic vibes. It's a classic, okay? It doesn't last that much anymore, but I just kept the bottle for the feel of it. Look at how classy this looks. This is beautiful frozen bottle, frosted glass, Acqua di Gio by Giorgio Armani. Okay, so after Giorgio Armani we have number 13. This is Paco Rabanne Ultraviolet Man. This fragrance I think is available or discontinued, I'm not sure, but this is similar to Blicker Street. Okay, and this perfume, it's something I used back in university. I had a gift from one of my uncles. I had good memories of this one. I cannot believe it has been that long. It's very unique. You really have to try this perfume. I think it's a plum note, I forgot, but trust me, this is hands down one of the most unique fragrances Paco Rabanne ever made. So beautiful. There was another one, the red one, I forgot, ultraviolet or man or red man or something like, I forgot. Never tried that, but ultraviolet man definitely makes my list. That is number 13. Number 12, we're going with one of my favorite sandalwood fragrances of, with I think pimento and cactus note. Givenchy Xerius Rouge. If you never tried this perfume, please do. This is so beautiful. If you get high heat on your skin, this fragrance will really pop up, and it's kind of sweet. It's warming. It almost feels like absinthe. If you ever had absinthe, this is a fragrance I would urge you to try. Nighttime, sexy, mysterious fragrance, and really lovely. Xerius Rouge, bit hard to find nowadays. Okay, after that I think going to number 11. Yeah, number 11. Hold on, I made a mistake. Yeah, sorry, I did some reshuffling a little bit when I was doing the order, so I made a mistake in writing that. Okay, number 11, yes, it's not major difference from the list, is Givenchy's Pie. This is burnt sugar, kind of like boozy, vanilla, and this fragrance, there's nothing like it. It's very, very long lasting, and it's very unique. The bottle is unique. This is one of the fragrances you must have in your collection if you're a collector. Number 11, Givenchy's Pie. Okay, top 10. When I look at this, like let me just confirm: 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Top 10 are these fragrances I use the most. In recent times, I bought one perfume. I've been testing it for even 2-3 years, so I know this perfume so much. So this can be in anybody's book in a special honorable mention or like last 10 or something, but these are, to me, I think some of the most special fragrances ever. Now, number 10 is a fragrance. I'm showing you the Intense EDP version, but what I really mean is that original EDT, Hugo Boss bottled. Okay, this is the Intense EDP. This is a new modern release. This is not the one I'm meant to show, but I gave my bottle to my dad, so I have only this. So if you know Hugo Boss bottled, the EDT, that one was my first fragrance in my journey. Okay, my parents got me a 30 ml, then they got me 100 ml, then I used from my dad 200 ml. A lot of memories. Apple pie. I did not know what this smells like. I just remember whenever I smell it, it's the most common fragrance in Malaysia. Everywhere you go, you could smell the detect the DNA, and people wear this as a signature scent. Still a classy fragrance. Hugo Boss bottle, perfect fall scent. Number 10. Number 9. I think yes, number 9. Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Okay, this is my made in, I think, France version. There is a German version and there's a UK version. Do not buy the UK version, you'll be okay. And if you find the sticker version, that one will give you that lemon more prominent up top, but that's about the difference between that and this. This is another vintage. I love how this one opens with the lemon. It has lavender. It has, at first you feel a little bit nauseating because it's very, very strong. If you do not like Versace Dreamer, perhaps you do not want to look at this way. This is a bit more mature. I think this is good for people who are over 25, 35, they will understand this perfume. Very long lasting, projects a lot, and the tobacco in this is just spicy tobacco, really masculine. It's Italian style cologne. Try out Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Goodie from the back in time. Okay, 10, 9, 8. This is the new fragrance. I was very biased towards it, and I'm not apologizing because of how quickly it entered my world. This is from back in that era, okay? And this fragrance reminds me of Riddick, that movie from Vin Diesel, something to do with the dune. Yes, the desert. This is Dune Pour Homme by Dior. This is a sleeper, guys, okay? I mean, people sleep on this because they do not hear any reviews on this. The reason, I forgot to tell you one thing. When I was reviewing this, Mark started reviewing fragrance. This is from 2009, I think. And then, I don't know if he covered it, but I think reviewers who came after Mark, they actually gone past the era of this. This was released in 1997, okay? So the year I left Bangladesh from Malaysia for 20 years. This is a fragrance I think should have got more love. It's so unique. It has a fig note. It has a freshness of woodiness. And it has a little bit of spices. This is also just like Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. If you like that, you definitely enjoy this. Dior Dune Pour Homme. Okay, that's my number 8. Okay, number 8. Okay, number 7. Classic. These are all classic perfumes. Chanel Allure, the original Allure. You can see not the fancy colorful silver bottles, but the first one. This one is like same league with Hugo Boss bottled and YSL Loam. If you love those, easy love. This is very complex. It has peach, citruses, and it goes a little bit like more in depth, like it goes a little bit deeper. And this is a perfect fall and winter scent. But Allure, what a classic gentleman scent. It is one of the best ever created by Chanel. So this is number 7. Number 6, and we're entering the top 5, and this number 6 was once my number 1. When I started collecting, I bought this perfume. I had no clue what this perfume smells like. Even when I smell it, I'm like, what am I getting? I did not get the hype. I saw the reviews, great, how great this is. I do not have a vintage, but this is one of my most prized collections, I would say. And this is Chanel's Platinum Egoiste, back-to-back Chanel's. This is something else. This is a masterpiece. Buy it, keep it with you, keep using it over the years. You'll understand eventually what this is good. What's so good about this? Man, I got compliments from this, like so much, from my girlfriend, from people I hang around. This is one of the best. Again, it's even better than Chanel Allure in my humble opinion. It gives you the cooling sensation in the warmer days. In the cooling days, the warming days, it's gonna cool you down. It's kind of has that two-way effect. And this is the niche version of Fierce by Abercrombie & Fitch. If you love that, upgrade it to this, okay? And this is even better than Parfum de Marly's. I forgot the name. Was the other one that came out, the blue bottle? You know what I'm talking about. But this is better than anything else out there. Platinum Egoiste by Chanel. Time for top 5. Top 5, I think I have only one fragrance, which is sort of like a newer discovery from this time. And it quickly climbed up to my top 5. Starting with YSL Opium Purom. Not the vintage once again. People say they do not get the performance. Juniper berries, oh my god, the vanilla. And there's another note of star anise. I cannot remember all the notes, but for my age, this is such a hit. I love this. When I wear this, I feel like the man, okay? So if you are in my 30s, if you like within that era of 35 to 40-year-old range, you can even gift it to your dad. He's gonna love it. At first, you may not get it, but the spices, the vanilla will pop up slowly. Just give it time, be a little bit patient, and wear this in the cooler nights. Be smooth fragrance, Opium Purom by YSL. Oh, next four, all big. I really had to reshuffle them here to there, and it was very difficult. But this is what it is. It is what it is. Number 4, Dior Fahrenheit. You guys know my love for this. Petroleum, leather, and violets. It has that motor oil smell. If you stand by Petronas or Shell, you'll smell, excuse me. Yeah, I was having some problem with my throat, so I just cleared it and had some water. So Fahrenheit, I've gone through, I think 2-3 bottles, and I had an older batch, 2014, I had 2015, 2 batches. So I'm planning to buy a 200 ml of this because this is one of my signature scents, okay? It can be worn all year round. It has beautiful projection with the florals, and the older batches will give you a little bit more gasoline, but this on its own, still a masterpiece, still a performer. Just check it out first. Do not blind buy this very daring fragrance. Still modern masterpiece outside. Dior's Fahrenheit. I'm just glad I own this and I got to try this. That's number 4. Number 3, Thierry Mugler Angel Man or Amin. This is 2000, I think 10. I forgot. Not 2010. This one, it's just the second or first reformulation. I forgot. But this is a release of 2009. 90s. Originated 1994 or something. This fragrance, it's one of the most complex, one of the most deep, with all the notes. If you see the notes breakdown on this, you'll go crazy. Just check it out. Check out my review. Check out the Fragrantica and other reviews and stuff. This fragrance, it's heaven. It's like a little bit in short. It's chocolate, tar, patchouli, coffee, honey, mint. List goes on. Very animalistic, but on the dry down, it just gets magical. Just try to get a Thierry Mugler version. Do not buy the Mugler version. That's all. Number 3, Thierry Mugler by Amin by Thierry Mugler. Number 2 and number 1. Number 2, I had this fragrance since 2015. Okay, never was a big fan. I don't know, for some reason didn't work for me. But one fine winter morning, I fell in love with this, and since then, since 2019 December, this is one of my most favorite, most rich fragrances. I use it all the time. Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. I have not Ultra Male. Jean Paul Gaultier La Mole. I have La Mole the original bottle, but that one is nearing to finish. So I'm showing you side by side. My Lamal bottle is almost finished, but these are almost very, very close. Just the Christmas edition has a little bit more mint in 2019 or 18. So if you know Lamal, people know this is like Mark's signature scent. This is a bottle that people went through. You kind of have great memories with this throughout your whole life. Perhaps you met your first girlfriend wearing this. So this was the thing. 1 million, this, Eros had great era of like beast mode powerhouses. This is one of them. Number two is I'm gonna put Lamal. And what can be possibly number one? This is my fragrance. This is the king. This one beats Aventus. This one beats anything in my world. If you need an animal and you don't want to care what people think of you, this is so sexy. This is dirty and clean at the same time. And what is dirty and clean at the same time? YSL Kouros. You guys, those who know me for some time, you guys know I love this. I do not rock it every day, but if I look at all these fragrances, what beats everything, it's Kouros. This is definitely not a blind buy worthy. It's just my opinion. So do not go and buy this today. Oh, Joyce said this is number one. Try it. And this is one of the most scary fragrances. If you thought Shura was scary, this is scary. But once you fall in love, if you can fall in love, this will be your best buddy, and you only need Kouros in your life. Okay, so that's my list for best of 80s and 90s fragrances. I'm just glad I can do this. If some of you watch it, thank you so much. Hopefully you like the reviews and my effort, and I just love doing this work for you guys. Okay, more and more you support me, I'll do more work. Have a very nice day, very nice week, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.